This is pretty cheesy, but I gotta ask. Are you
We're
guys
cheesy.
glad that you listened to your heart?
So glad. All I hear is Chris Harrison every time. And remember to listen to your heart.
Chris and Bri.
We just saw that you won. Listen to your heart. Are you still on cloud 9? How are you feeling?
Yeah, we've been very busy with the album, so we've had to be in business mode. But the last, couple weeks wrapping that up, we've been able to kind of go back into the zone and feel it, and we're just so freaking excited.
So we need to get this out of the way. You're not quarantined together, but are you still together? Is there still love? Are you still a couple? Where are you at?
Yeah.
Definitely.
We're still together, and we're more of a couple now than we were on the show, for sure, So, yeah.
And which is a good thing.
Which is definitely a good thing. So how is it being apart from one another? Have you been apart this whole time?
Luckily, right before quarantine started, we did have a weekend or two together. Go ahead, B. You tell him.
Yeah, so I was able to go, I'm in Utah, he's in Los Angeles, and we had plans obviously to be together, but we were able to be together for 2 weekends, and then when I came back to Utah, things started to really lock down within about 2 days, and then we kind of just got stuck apart from each other. So that's why we're apart. Otherwise, we would have definitely quarantined together.
Yeah.
How is quarantining apart? How are you guys keeping it alive? Keeping your new romance alive?
We're doing it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
lots of FaceTime dates.
Yeah. I wouldn't. It's not like keeping the romance alive. It's just like fighting how much you miss somebody and how much you want to kiss them, and how you would literally just punch your bathroom mirror because you want to touch somebody so bad. So the love is there. Like, we already scheduled out hanging out with each other. It's gonna be great whenever we do, So, but yeah, it's annoying, but it's great. We're happy.
Well, I'm sure you guys know this, but Bachelor, now you're part of our Bachelor Nation family. I say "our" because I'm a big fan. So I'm part of it, as a fan.
You.
Thank you.
But as Bachelor Nation, they are very quick to get engaged. As I'm sure you guys know, are you guys going to be as similar as the other couples, or what are your thoughts on engagement, on the next steps of your relationship?
I mean, I'm not going to flip it on you, but I feel like you know that answer, Lauren. Bri's past. I'm trying to put a ring on Bri, but I'm not trying to rush her there at any point. So, yeah, like, engagement's a very real part of our relationship. I feel like it should be a part of any healthy relationship, but we're not rushing there. So we're going to take our time.
And Bri, how does it feel hearing Chris saying, "I'm not going to rush you. I know what you've been through in the past"?
It definitely makes me want him more, so he's playing his cards right. It's just like, if it was the opposite, I'd be like, ugh, get away. But everything about him has just always been so smooth. But yeah, we've definitely talked about it, and we've talked about our future together, because that's, we jumped in with both feet, and that's what we're doing. So, but yeah, just continuing to take it a day at a time and figuring things out together, and hopefully it will end up that way.
I'm sure it will. As we talked to Matt and Rudy last week, and they were like, the one couple that were just instant, like they were picking out their kids' names together, was Bri and Chris.
Oh, I'm just wondering if we actually did pick out a name or two. I know that they're kidding, but it's very possible.
Chris is in the corner like, I don't think so.
Don't act like we haven't talked about it, Chris, okay?
Oh, we've talked about it. I'm just you talk to a point. I don't think about,
You guys still have a lot of road. Like I said, engagement. Maybe babies before engagement.
No. Unless they're adopted babies. Yeah, there's too many legal, but beyond just like whatever, there's too many legal things tied up with that I'm not trying to get into. So,
I respect it. I get it. Let's talk a little bit more about the show, though.
Mm-hmm.
6 episodes. Looking back, when was the moment you guys knew? And it is obviously could be the same moment, different moments. But when was the moment that you guys knew you were in love? that Chris was your person, Bri was your person? Do you have a specific moment? Yeah, you're like, yeah.
For me, it was definitely on our Guitar Center date when we were playing piano and singing Can't Help Falling in Love. I never thought that you could fall in love over a song, you know? And that's exactly what happened. And it's really cool that it was recorded because now we get to rewatch it, but the feelings changed and they were just there. It really was magical. And I'm saying that off the show. It was completely 100% real.
It was authentic. Because, you know, sometimes we watch these reality shows and we're like, is it real? Is it really produced? But you can say it was real.
Yeah, 100%. We wouldn't, it's not me to fake love because it's just like, what's the point? You know what I mean? So it was definitely awesome.
Chris, what about you?
No, I agree. I mean, it definitely wasn't that moment that you could kind of tell how real everything was because really, truthfully, all the cameras and everybody else who was there just faded away. And it was just Bri and I. And watching back, you could tell how real it was because, you know, Bri doesn't know all the lyrics of that song, but she knows how it goes. But like, she like could barely even sing. And I could like barely sing it out to her too. Because I'm just like, this is the craziest thing that I'm like feeling so strongly for you over this stupid love song in this Guitar Center. But I'm like, it's just the realest, craziest thing. So yeah.
Before all of this, did you really think that you were gonna fall in love on a reality show? That it was possible?
No.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
No. We were open to the possibility of having love in our lives, but we didn't think that this was it. But it just goes to show that you never know what's going on, and all you can do is just be the most prepared you can be for whatever's life's thrown at you, you know?
Now, looking back, do you have any regrets? I mean, any regrets, something you wish you did, something you wish you didn't on the show?
I feel like I did a really good job of learning how to adapt and be present in the moment. But after our first performance, I was definitely a little bit in my head and it was just a lot to process. And Chris was like amazing and super, you know, as you should have been. And I feel like I was a little bit low key. So I would probably change that. But at the same time, I was processing a lot of things and you can't really help the way you feel. But, you know, just sharing that moment together the way that it deserved, I guess.
Chris, what about you?
I have no regrets at all. I mean, everything was fun. I have no regrets. Only praise. I wish that it just went twice as long. I don't know. I wish we got to jam more. That's my regret. I wish we got to jam more, and I wish that was. But that's like the musician side of me.
But that's, the musician side of you. And then last night, I do want to point out the whole fantasy suite thing.
Mm-hmm.
How has that kind of helped your relationship? Because I know, Bri, you were saying that you were a little worried that Chris was going to push you, and he didn't at all. He was the opposite of that. So has that helped your relationship and knowing that, you know, he's going to support you no matter what?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I didn't know quite what to expect, but I knew that we had always been on the same page leading up to that. And so it really wasn't anything different. And it was one conversation and we were on the same page, and that was that. And then we moved on to getting ready for the performance. So thank you, Chris, for being you.
You're welcome, B. I mean, it's not, for sure. I mean, you know, that's the thing. I mean, that's, you know, that's what I want this relationship to be. I've known how I've been with people in the past in different relationships, and, you know, Bri's done how she's operated with other people, and this relationship in particular, I just want it to be the real thing. So let's just take it as slow as we need to and just hang out and really get to know each other.
Has any of your family met one another? Have you had time for that yet? Or
we've definitely done, you know, many FaceTimes, and as much as you can, you know, there hasn't been an opportunity to like meet in person, unfortunately, but luckily we've been able to talk over FaceTime.
Yeah.
Because Chris, you said a lot throughout the season that your dad would have loved Bri.
Yeah, my dad is my best friend, and, you know, he was always supportive of me and everything. And He would have liked somebody who compliments me the way that Bri does, for sure. Yeah.
Bri, how was that hearing that?
Just too much. That's like what you want and what you hope for, and those are big shoes to fill. So when he said that on the episode, I think it was after our Lover performance, I didn't know that, and it was like so touching. I was watching with my family, and we were just all like silenced. We just like couldn't believe it. It was so sweet how you said it and what you said. And so hearing that for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't known that for these last 3 months. You're so sweet.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, yeah. Well, one, I don't know what's going to show, and then two, yeah, I didn't tell you that one part. But I mean, you knew it all along. Actions, and words.
How was watching back some of the episodes? Any moments where you just made each other fall in love with each other even more? You know, like exactly that.
There's definitely that. Definitely that.
Yeah, and especially not being able to be together, it kind of feels like a tease because we're getting to watch our whole story and fall in love with each other all over again and see things that we didn't see before, you know, because now we're watching. So it's definitely made us fall even deeper in love because it's just like so amazing to be able to see that and to have it documented.
Yeah, like there's one shot of Bri's head on my shoulder, like after the first rose ceremony, and I'm like, we have no, you know, when you're with a couple, you take photos together. This is our first selfie. This is our first. We didn't do any of that. We didn't have any of that. So to see something, it's like, oh, like we were really feeling each other at this moment, and like the way that she did it, I'm like, you know, you can't fake that. So yeah, super cute.
Well, last we saw you on last night's episode, you guys won the final rose, gave it to one another. Also, I have to say that performance was awesome. Those two songs, so great. And then we saw you guys a couple weeks later recording a song. So kind of get us up to speed at where you guys are now. You're dropping your new album. So get us up to speed a little bit.
So with that first weekend that I was able to go down to Los Angeles, we went to the Village recording studio with the Final Rose Band from the show and District 78, the music producers. And we were able to spend all day with them while they recorded the instrumental versions of the covers and kind of sing along and, you know, be with everyone. And then the next weekend is when we met with District 78 and really started to kind of hash out album ideas and everything. And then that's when everything moved to FaceTime.
So did you write most of your songs over FaceTime then?
All of the original songs were written over FaceTime.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, really like kind of the first song we started writing, I Do, was, I think it was before we even saw each other, and we just realized that like, hey, we're gonna have to be writing this song, you know, these songs, you know, sometimes together, but sometimes apart. And so it's just like, hey, let's try to write over FaceTime. And that's how that song came about. And little did we know that every song was gonna be just like that.
And it's 5 original songs, correct?
Yeah, 5 originals, and then the 5 covers that you heard on the show,
which were amazing. So the 5 songs, do they kind of give off the same vibe that the 5 songs you guys sang on the show? Because they were all, you know, romantic, a little soulful. What's the vibe of the 5 original songs?
I feel like the songs that we got on the show, they definitely embody us and our relationship. Stylistically, they might be a little more ballady than we would tend to sing all the time, you know? So we definitely have more like R&B, you know, pop, you know, sensibilities when it comes to like recording music together. So I feel like we try to show a little bit of that with the original songs, for sure.
And how was working together? I mean, you guys have said it's over FaceTime, so I'm sure that had to have so many challenges being creative over FaceTime. But how was working together to create these songs?
It was incredible. I mean, it was just an extension of the show. So luckily we had that foundation of knowing that we could, you know, we felt like we could do anything, had done everything, and then this happened and we're like, oh cool, we actually can do even harder things. So, you know, being able to work through it together, we've said so many times I would never do that alone / be able to, you know? So we've just really balanced each other out and kept each other going. And when one's frustrated, the other's not. And we've tried to kind of, you know, be there for each other in that way and not be too much of the same.
Yeah, it's lucky. Honestly, the days that we've been frustrated, they've been opposites. We haven't both been frustrated for too long together, so it's been nice.
Then you guys are honestly the perfect couple, because that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So obviously, though, you've been working so great apart. So what are you guys looking forward to when you finally get together? Will you be writing new music? What are you guys like really looking forward to when all of this is over?
Just being together, first of all, and not ever separating ever again.
Nope. Learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah, like don't go back, just stay. And then, yeah, we're always working on new music, and we do fully plan to tour once everything is open again and safe. So we have a lot to look forward to. You know, we're taking it a day at a time, but the future, you know, there's so much that's going to happen.
Yeah. And I mean, there's like, you know, things that are on hold because of, you know, coronavirus media wise that we would maybe want to get into. So we're conscious of that, but, you know, we're really open to whatever opportunities are going to start presenting themselves, you know, whether it's print and on and on. So yeah, we're really excited.
And I do want to ask about the other couples. The show's ended. Have you heard from any of them? Have you talked with them?
Yeah, definitely. So we keep in touch with everyone from the cast. Unfortunately, we don't know everyone's current relationship statuses because we have been so busy. So I do want to figure out, you know,
we gotta
the juicy
know
details. I know. And it's like crazy that we don't know, but we do keep in touch with everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there one couple that you would be surprised if they were still together or if they weren't together? Is there any one in particular?
I mean, that you'd be surprised if they were together. I mean, there's a few of them. I'd be like, oh, what? Like if Sheridan and Julie are together, I'd be like, what? You know, they're not.
You know, he could have given her a second chance.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either. Okay.
Yeah.
But you guys don't know about Jamie or Trevor or Rudy and Matt?
No, we keep up with everybody, but it's been so crazy, and we haven't been asking them if they're still together. So I wish
we want them to be.
We want them
sure.
to be. We're trying to do a reunion tour, reunion wedding. You know, that'd be great. All four
That'd be
couples
so great.
get married at once.
Yeah, you guys all it would be a listen to the heart special. Like you guys all get married at once and play each other, like what you guys did with the wedding in Vegas. You could be singing and getting married.
That'd be amazing.
That would actually that would actually be hilarious television. That'd be really good.
People would tune in.
Yeah.
This is pretty cheesy, but I gotta ask. Are you
We're
guys
cheesy.
glad that you listened to your heart?
So glad. All I hear is Chris Harrison every time. And remember to listen to your heart. No, but it's true. It goes down to the basics. Like, if you don't listen to your heart, you're not giving yourself a chance to fall in love. It's that simple. So I am very, very glad that we listen to our hearts.
And it's true. It is cheesy, like, but there were times on the show where you definitely had to listen to like what your heart was telling you. And it's just like, are you really feeling this way? It's like, yeah, I really am. So let's just, you know, you kind of have to, and I feel like this is the way that love should be. You should kind of live love like you're 14 and you're just crushing, and it's just like you only think of all the best stuff, you know, because you can't put up walls around somebody who, they didn't create those walls for you. It was somebody else that you used to date that put up those walls around how you think you should feel about a person, you know, or like, oh, I'm not going to open up all the way, you know. And so in some of those moments, it's just like, yeah, I got to listen to my heart. I'm all in with this girl. Let me be all in with all of my actions too. If I'm all in my head, let me be all in with my actions. I remember it was maybe like 2 days after our first date, and I wrote Bri a note, and I'm like, dude, I'm not going to give it to her. This girl's going to think I'm crazy, like this and that. And I'm like, you know what? Give it to her anyway. And I know that I know that you loved it. I basically just said, like, I woke up today and I just couldn't stop thinking about you. I couldn't wait to see you and talk to you.